Hi, and welcome to this AI and C# video on the Microsoft Agent Framework. Today we're going to look into OpenTelemetry, where we'll be looking into the console and application insights. And in a separate video, we're going to look at it on .NET Aspire's dashboard as well. A little disclaimer, I'm not too good at OpenTelemetry, those of you who are experts in it, sorry in advance, but at least this is how you get going. Because OpenTelemetry have a standard more or less for AI. It's called Gen_AI, and Agent Framework follows this whenever you set up OpenTelemetry. So let's go in and see that. So here we are in the system, and we are in the telemetry example here. And what we need to do is, you can see these already have OpenTelemetry as sub NuGet packages, so we don't need to put anything extra in here. But what we need to do is we need to make a trace provider in order to trace whatever happens with every AI. And for that, we need to give it a name. So we just give it, in my case, AI source here. And then we are going to use OpenTelemetry, where we add a source. And in my case, we also add a console exporter, so we can export the various data out to the console. And then I have an application insight set up. So I have an application insight up here. Let me quickly grab this before we move on. And I'm using one here, and I have an instrumentation key that is in my user secrets. If you don't have that, you can still run the application, but it won't log to Azure then. And then we built this trace provider. So we have something that can be traced and logged to two different or exported to two different sources. And the only thing we need to do, rather than the normal things we do, is we need to just say as builder, add the middleware of OpenTelemetry, where we give the source name. And then we need to choose if we want to enable sensitive data or not, meaning should the actual answers back and forward be there, or should it only be something about what is the model and how many tokens was used and such things like that, which is non-sensitive. Microsoft recommends that you don't put this on in production, of course, but that's they can't stop you in doing it. So if it's for training or anything, you might do this. But beyond that, I'm doing nothing special. The only thing I'm doing here is my responses are coming out in yellow here. And we might actually go to red, so it's even easier to see where they are, because as I have the telemetry console exporter here, a lot of extra data will come out despite our three texts here. So I'm asking I'm telling it what my name, I'm asking for the capital of France, and I'm asking again what my name was, just in a normal thread. So let's set a breakpoint and get this going. Oh, we are on the wrong project here. So let's jump to that one instead. And let's get this side by side like we do. So we set up the trace. In my case, the Azure Monitor as well, or in the Application Insight as it's called as well. So that's ready. We build our normal agents and hook it up. And in my case, I'm using the extra data out. And then I'm making a thread and do the first request. And as you saw, a lot of things came out. And then our answer. Second request, a lot of things come out. Our answer. And the third one. So what's in here? So we see a bunch of trace ID, span ID, all kinds of things of what this was that happened. In this case, it was an invoke agent event. And it had some tags about it was a chat, it was this GPT model that I used, it was OpenAI from this address. And in my case, the message input message came in and the output message came out as well. We had the agent and an ID for the agent. And then a little more down here with some of the same data. And essentially the same with some different input and output in this case. And this is what we get also sent up into Azure. And what we can do up in Azure, we can go in. Azure don't really have, or Application Insight don't really have anything, as far as I know, for showing GenAI data. But we can make our own logs and our own workbooks if we want to. So all the data goes into a table called dependencies, and most of it go into something called custom dimensions, which is some JSON. So I'm just projecting that out using KQL. And if I run this, oops, I need to not stand on it so it thinks it's only a sub part of it. We should be able to see our agent here, where we asked, what is my name? Name was Rasmus, so that was the last one. So these comes in descending order. The second one was the thing about France. And had we not set the sensitive data, input and output data would have been empty, and the rest would have been there. So I will put this in the description of the video, so you can grab this and use it in your own logs. Or you can use, since OpenTelemetry is open, as the name implies, you can use it in other places. But this is how you do it up in Application Insights. In Azure Foundry, you have direct integration, and in Aspire dashboards, you can get them there as well. But that was actually everything for this one. It's fairly simple to set up. You can of course add logging with normal logging and so on, but that's normal OpenTelemetry and not really anything to do with AI as such. So with that, see you on the next one.